It is now January 6th by the time this episode comes out. I'm not sure if you guys can hear my little jazz playing in the back, but hopefully it's not too big of a distraction. But how are we feeling? We are just about 1 week into 2025. That is crazy. My new year was super simple. Ty and I put up a little tent in our living room and we just hung out and watched movies, and I was asleep before the New Year's dropped, or the year came in, the ball dropped, whatever it is. I'm not a big New Year's person unless I am to go somewhere like traveling. I've spent it in Prague before. I've spent it over in Europe where it's just been like super fun and the experience is far different, or like bigger cities and stuff like that. But I'm going to be quite honest, I'm not someone that's big on the new year. I actually used to cry, which is crazy to say, but as a kid I would cry because I was so sad that the year was passing, and I just thought, like everyone's getting older, and I think I already knew about like death, so I would just be thinking about like, oh my god, we're all gonna die soon, which is super morbid. But that is kind of why I think I don't really care for the new year all that much unless I have an activity or something to do. So instead I enjoyed just staying home. We chilled, we ate good food, we snacked, we watched movies, we laughed, we journaled, and it was just a good time. It has now, like I said, been 6 days, the day this comes out, that the new year has like started. And how do we feel about that, guys? Like, for me personally, it has already been a crazy 6 days, I will not lie. We have had meetings with bank people about some really big things coming up that I won't speak about too much on at this moment, but by the end of this year, I will probably talk about it. But big things coming up for Ty and I this year, and just work and getting back in routine with the studio. I have a class coming up, and I realized I didn't even talk about this episode. I'm just kind of so out of it, just going into it. But this episode, I'm feeling a pep talk because we might need it. Some of us might need a little pep talk to get us just going with this year. But before I get into the pep talk, back to the little recap I was doing. I've just been away from work for visiting family for a week, and then I did work 2 days after that, and I've just been kind of looking at this year's plans and things that we have going on and how we're going to tackle everything, and just trying to get my head wrapped around everything because it can be a lot and very overwhelming. So as a business owner and just as a girl, I am just trying to mentally prepare myself for this year and ground myself before it just swoops me up like it has been over the past few years. I'm currently enjoying an espresso martini, which is crazy because I've definitely said I don't drink, and I don't, but over Christmas I did have more drinks than I have had in probably the past 2 years, and I'm really proud to say I did not get super messed up or anything by them. I just enjoyed them. I didn't wake up with a hangover or anything. I didn't overdo it, but I did have some drinks with friends and some family, and now I'm just enjoying an espresso martini at home with Ty. We made it, and yeah, I just felt like having one today. So just wanted to share that too. I have a permanent makeup class coming up this weekend that I'm very excited about. It's going to be in New Jersey, and I'm going to be relearning, nano strokes for machine microblading. I had taken a class a year or two ago, maybe 2 years now, I don't even remember. But I just had a lot going on, so I didn't really stick with it, although I feel like I was really discouraged. And I was doing fine. There's a lot to learning in permanent makeup, and I feel really good about it now. So I'm retaking a different class, and I'm super stoked about it. So that is this month. And then I have another one in April that will be here before we even know it. But if you are local and you're listening to this, apparently we're supposed to have some snow today. So we'll see if it actually does, because it's Monday and that is what the projected snow said. We don't really get a lot of snow in Delaware, and I'm totally fine with that. I actually don't care for snow, being from Illinois, so it's all good. But we'll see. And already things are closing, which is so different from back home and where Ty's from in PA, because we're used to feet of snow and still going to school and work and things like that. But here they're already just shutting things down or closing or teleworking because of the forecast. And there's been times where that has happened. Oh, okay, sorry, my YouTube decided to play an ad, but there's been times where that has happened for fog and like school delays and stuff, which is just crazy to hear, because back home and back in the day, I guess, it just didn't happen. But we're gonna roll into it. One last announcement is that this YouTube will now be able to be heard on YouTube very, very soon. I have created a YouTube channel for A Magic You. It was time. I'm excited. And I'm feeling some fun things coming up with YouTube, with possibly personal life as well. But I'm not going to really grind as hard with that the way I am with this podcast, because that's a lot. And with the things that are coming up this year, it's going to be a good year. So let's get into it. It is 2025, my friends. 2025. And ever since last year, I felt like this year was going to be huge, groundbreaking even. I felt like something was going to be born in some way. Would it be a baby? Would it be a business? Would it be something with the business? Something big was going to happen this year. I don't know. It's not a baby, okay? Not for me, at least. Maybe for you. But big things are happening this year. 25, that's a great number. So I decided to look up the angel number 25, and it says that it is generally interpreted, I cannot speak, but as a sign of significant change coming your way, urging you to embrace these changes with a positive attitude and trust that they are ultimately for your good. It can symbolize a heightened connection to your guardian angels and a need to be resilient during these transitions. So change, positivity, trusting your intuition, and knowing that your spirit guides are there with you. So take a second and just think about that, okay? 2025 is a big year. 2024 was a strange year where I know I'm not the only one that said that. It was an interesting year. But this is the year where it's time for you to get up and do the things that you said you were going to do, including myself. I am listening to myself here. But I actually did tell Ty that this is a year where I feel like I'm feeling motivated in the way of like just doing the things I've been saying I've been going to do. Stop procrastinating, because that is what's holding you back. And another thing holding you back is the fear of looking stupid, or the fear of looking dumb doing whatever it is you want to do. Because who cares, guys? If you have been wanting to create a podcast or YouTube or some sort of business, Instagram, but the only reason you haven't, and you really think about it, is because you are scared to look dumb, you are only hurting yourself and just blocking your what you could be doing. Nobody is going to be sitting there thinking about what it is you're doing to the point, like to the extent that you are. People are too busy thinking about themselves. I promise you. So if you have had an idea, or you have suddenly gotten an idea of something you've been wanting to do, go for it. Don't think about what other people are going to be saying, because they're going to see it and they're just going to keep scrolling the way everybody does anymore. Everyone has such a short attention span that they just keep scrolling. They're either going to cheer you on, or they're going to keep scrolling, or they're going to pause, and any negative reflection they have is just an internal reflection that they are expressing of themselves out, if that made any sense. the more you procrastinate on starting something because of the fear of what others may say, think, or anything like that, the more you're pushing it off into the future. And instead of starting, we're in January. So if you start whatever it is you're wanting to now, even just the game plan, instead of waiting, you are going to be so much further now than you would have been or will be if you wait until 6 months from now or a year from now, because you're going to keep thinking about it. So if you truly, truly, truly have something that you have been thinking about and you are ready but scared, do it. Go for it. If it wasn't meant for you, you wouldn't have had the idea. And being scared just gets us excited. Our body doesn't know the difference between scared and excited. So instead of saying I'm so scared, just say I'm so excited. So I'm here to tell you 2025 is your year. It is time for you to go after those dreams, to do what it is you have been wanting to do, to stop letting fear get in your way, stop letting the thought of what other people could be saying, because that hasn't even happened. These fake scenarios in our head are taking over. Stop that shit. It is time for you to go get them, okay? Put it on your vision board, put goals up, and make it a point. Set yourself accountable for it. In this life, we can do whatever it is we want to do. We can be whoever it is we want to be, but the only way that these things happen is by trying and putting the effort towards them. The universe gives where you put an effort, but why would it give when you aren't doing anything to achieve it? You have to go after these things and go over certain obstacles and hurdles in order to get the bigger ones. There's been a lot of times where I am feeling so over business things, and I'm like, is it worth it? Because I've built a business from zero to where it is now, the ground up, and it has been a struggle, and that's not something I will lie about. And I'll tell people, I wonder if it would be worth it to start over. But knowing what I know now, I would do things a little differently possibly, but that doesn't mean I wouldn't do it. And everything I have gone through, all the obstacles, the paperwork, the having to file things, just everything, it's preparing me and Ty for what's to come in the future. And that's something we spoke about too, because we wouldn't be given other opportunities if we wouldn't be persevering and pushing through the ones that we are given now. And that goes for anything that has happened with you in your life. So if it is a new business idea that you are wanting to do, start planning and go for it. Save your money, figure out how to get it done, and get it done. If it is a health change that you are wanting to achieve for yourself, stop waiting until Monday. Stop waiting till the first of the month. Stop waiting, period, and go for it. Because you are the only one that is going to be able to change your life. I've said it before, and I strongly, strongly mean it. Instead of wasting time scrolling, watching videos of people who have achieved their goals, put the phone down, put it on a timer, and start putting in the work so you can be the one achieving those goals. I heard in a podcast that I don't even know how to explain it. Basically, you need to lower your cortisol levels, or you live in a cortisol state if you are constantly checking your phone and work as soon as you wake up and right before bed. You're always doing that, and you kind of have no time between where you're not thinking about it. So I thought about it, and I realized that's extremely true. If the first thing I'm doing is waking up looking at appointments and or messages from work, it's not like I'm at the studio. I can't be responding at 4 a.m. So instead, I've decided to not look at my phone or messages until 7 a.m. And I am planning this is a goal I am trying to do and set for myself, is to put my phone down about an hour before bed. And I want to start reading and or doing something that is going to benefit me in that way. Reading, meditating, relaxing, just unwinding. And if that resonates with you, you can also do it. Granted, I'm sure there'll be times where I maybe slip back, but the point is to set the intention and work for it. If this is the year that you feel like you yourself are changing and you are outgrowing people, it is okay. That is not a bad thing. It is okay to grow bigger and wiser and glow. And it's okay to, you don't have to leave the people behind, but it doesn't mean that you have to surround yourself with them as often or at all, really. So if you do want to leave them behind or just distance yourself, that's okay too. If they don't understand, they're just not ready to do what you're doing and grow. And I'm not saying you have to break up friendships, but I have had people tell me that they are more so tired of the same old with friends, and those friends, excuse me guys, it's kind of late, those friends are in the same, they just want to do the same thing when they hang out. It's watching TV, it's at someone's house, it's kind of boring, and said person is ready to expand and grow individually, and if the friendships don't match it, how are you supposed to not that how are you supposed to, but it may be more difficult. Excuse me, guys. I am going through it right now. I decided to look up little pep talks on Pinterest, and I found this one that says, talk to yourself as you would your BFF. Nobody deserves this more than you. You are the most fabulous. A child. I know it's a little scary, but I know that you'll be okay. A stranger. Do you need some help with that? Your pet. We can stop in for one treat, but then we need to keep going. And your favorite indulgence. Yes, you are 100% worth it, every single penny. So when reading these things, what came to my head, what I was thinking of, was that we talk ourselves out of things because we believe we don't deserve it. But why? Is it because we think of all maybe the negative things about us, things we've done that we aren't, so happy about? But everybody has done mistakes. If you repeat them, that's something. But if you learn from them and you are trying to be a better person, then you're going forward. So I just wanted to tell you that you deserve this. Yes, it can be a little scary, but scary isn't always a bad thing. The little section where it had said, for your pet, we'll get one treat and then we gotta keep going. We don't treat ourselves enough. And I mean, the little rewards that we get for doing the things that we were just dreading, or doing things that we were really anxious or nervous about. And that's something that this year, and not just this year, but I've definitely tried to incorporate more in my life. And when we had a big meeting this past week, I told Ty, I was like, I want to celebrate with some wings and an espresso martini. And he laughed and he's like, okay, sounds good. And it went really good. And although we didn't do it that same night, we waited until today. And we didn't go to my favorite spot, Real House, to sit and eat. We did order the food and we came home after this long day that we had today. And I just made my espresso martini. So I don't know. I feel like we definitely don't treat ourselves enough. So this was my treat. And earlier I had an Olipop because I was exhausted. I did an online portion of a class that I'm going to have this upcoming weekend. So I treated myself for that too. Granted, that's a lot in one day, I will say. I was definitely not expecting the Olipop. But just looking forward to things and giving yourself the praise when you deserve it and the rewards when you deserve it too. Because if you just keep grinding and you don't treat yourself, even in the littlest ways of a soda, a drink, a dessert, whatever, you're going to burn out, you're going to be tired, and you're going to be wondering, is it worth it? Why am I still doing this? And I'm telling you this from experience. When I first started my business, I was grinding extremely hard, working 5 to 6 days a week, 12-hour shifts, and coming home and working when I got home at night and early in the morning and on the weekends. Like, I'm saying, like, yes, I was in the studio 5 to 6 days a week, but I was working 24/7. Yes, that had to happen maybe for everything to happen the way it did, but I was also not taking the time to celebrate the little wins, the new followers, the gaining and I don't know, just more traction on social media, or gaining more appointments and stuff. I wasn't taking time to celebrate. I would acknowledge them, and then I would be reflecting in the shower, and I would start crying. Not crying because I was sad, but crying because I felt like I was a slave to it, and I wasn't giving myself the time to celebrate. I was just grinding. So take it from me, don't cry in the shower. Give yourself the praise that you deserve. You're going to feel better about it, and it's something that you look forward to, and it gives you more motivation to do the things that you want to do. But that is all I have for today's pep talk, guys. It is getting later. I would like to spend some time with Ty, drink this last espresso martini. It is decaf. I know I feel like I've said that a million times tonight. But yeah, enjoy life. 2025 is the year that you get whatever it is that you have been thinking of. You put your mind to it. You can do it. You can achieve it. You are in control of your life. I've said it before in all the episodes, and I'm just here to continue to talk you on. So I hope this podcast episode resonated with you. I hope you enjoyed it. And if you did, please send it to a friend, a family member, whoever you feel like needs a pep talk as well for this year, because you're going to conquer this year. It's going to be a great one. And although there may be hard times, you're going to overcome them. So don't forget to treat yourself and have a good mindset. Be grateful for everything and take deep breaths, because we're going to get through it. And soon enough, we'll be at Christmas again. But let's enjoy the little moments before then and not speed life, because this is our life. It's time to romanticize it and enjoy all the little moments, because it's going to go by really, really fast. So I love you all. Please leave a review, share this, and I will talk to you in the next one. Bye.